When you need electrical power for large demands, the Opus Mega 2 provides a very nice, robust package into a smaller, lighter, and less expensive power station. This is the latest offering in the Opus lineup, and it falls right in line with their Mega 3 and their Mega 5 units, only this one is smaller and lighter and less expensive. Stay tuned for details. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Opus Mega 2 power station. This power station is compatible with their 240 watt solar panels. When Opus offered to send us this new unit, we were very excited to try out their newest, lightest weight, and less expensive Mega power station option. Stay tuned to the end of this video because Opus is offering an additional discount for under the median viewers. We own 5 of the Opus power stations and we love them. We use them all the time in our home. We use them to run our coffee maker, to run our family room, to run lighting upstairs in the house. They're really good for not only power outages, but also for saving you some power on your utility bills. We also own the Mega 3, and I recently did a review on that unit, and I have to say, these are my favorite units because of the additional features that they come with. The Mega 2 is a nice size unit, and it will supply 2,500 watts of power. That is quite a bit. It comes with a surge power rating of 5,400 watts, so in case you're starting up a motor or starting up an electrical appliance that turns on with a little surge of power, more than likely this will cover it just fine. The power delivered from this unit is that clean AC power, the very same kind that comes out of your outlets in your home. It's pure sine wave, and it gives you nice, clean, uninterrupted power. The unit is very well designed, and it comes with a lot of very useful features for powering different appliances in your home. The Mega 2 can actually be used to power most everything in your own home, like your microwave oven, your toaster ovens, a toaster, coffee makers, lighting, entertainment centers. All of that can be powered through the AC part. The DC can supply power to anything that recharges with lithium-ion batteries, like your phone or your computer. It can also supply power out in the field to things like a drone unit or a video camera or a digital camera outfit. It will power anything under 2,500 watts and can be used for off-grid living or for weekend campouts. The Mega 2 would be perfect in supplying power for your RV, like your camper or your motorhome, because it already comes with a 30 amp power outlet that is compatible with RV units. The Mega 2 has a lot of amazing features, but one of my favorites is the phone app. With the phone app, you can monitor the input wattage, the output wattage, the percentage that's left on the battery. You can turn on and off different functions on the unit. You can also make some changes in the settings, so you can actually do some setup features using that phone app. The power station is very well designed. It's well engineered and designed for heavier duty power in a smaller package. It's quite a bit smaller than the Mega 3 or the Mega 5. For instance, my Mega 3 outfit weighs about 85 pounds. This one weighs just a little bit more than 48 pounds, so it's quite a bit lighter. It doesn't have the wheels that you pull the Mega 3 or the Mega 5 around with. You can just pick it up with the 2 handles that are on the top. The Mega 2 can be fast charged from AC at 1,600 watts. This will completely charge up the unit in 1.5 hours. You can also slow that rate down to 800 watts. There's a way to do that on using just the buttons on the front. You can slow it down from 1,600 to 800. This will allow you to charge this on some of your lines in your home that may not be as robust as some of your others are. So I like this setting the best because it'll also save the battery a little bit by charging it at a slower rate. The owner's manual is real clear on how to do this, and I'll go over this in just a little bit. For solar charging, you can put 6 of their 240 watt solar panels into the unit using an Anderson cord. You have to get some extra cords from Opus in order to use their solar panels on the Mega 2. It will charge up this unit also in 1.5 hours, so that is incredibly fast. You can combine the AC and solar charging for a total of 3,700 watts going into the Mega 2, and that will actually charge it in 0.6 hours. That's about 35 minutes. The Opus Mega 2 can also be charged with an Anderson car cord that comes with it. That'll take a little bit longer, around 22 hours or so to charge it up with that cord. Before I break down these features a little bit, let's take a look and see what actually comes with the unit out of the box. One of the most important things that you can have with the Opus Mega 2 is the owner's manual. This gives you all the specifications on the unit. It tells you how to operate it and how it's really designed to work for solar charging, car charging, AC charging, and the different outputs that it has hooked up to it. It also comes with several adapters and cables from Opus. It has a special AC cord that only works with their Mega series lineup because it's allowing the unit to take quite a bit of power from the AC line. So they put a heavy-duty cord on there. You don't want to use any other cord except the ones that are designed for the Mega series. It also comes with a car cord, an Anderson to 7909 cord for plugging in their solar panels, and also an Anderson to Anderson extension. So if you're charging this in your car and you can't put the unit up in the front, you can put the unit in the back and run it off of the extension cord from the car cord to the unit itself. Very nice feature to have that extension cord. One interesting comparison to make between the Opus Mega 2 and, let's say, a gas generator. There's quite a bit of difference between a gas generator and an electric generator like a power station. A power station does not make any noise when it's running. This is what the Opus 2 sounds like when it's operating. A gas generator, in turn, makes quite a bit of noise. Here is my brute 3,500 watt gas generator running. The Mega 2 is also going to put out very clean power. It's not going to pollute the atmosphere. You're not going to have to do a lot of maintenance on it, like changing the air filter or the gas filter. You're not going to have to change the oil on it. So this is a lot nicer to run. The only thing that a gas generator has a little bit over an advantage over an electric generator is that as long as you have gas, you can keep a gas generator running. But as long as you have sunlight, you can keep this running when you don't have power. You'll have to take it out and charge it out in the sun, but you can charge it at the same time that you're running power from it, and that's called pass-through charging. So you actually can use it while it's in the charge mode. I'd like to take a look now at some of the special features that the Mega 2 offers. And the best one, I think, is the phone app. This is really good. The phone app on the Mega 2 has the ability so that it can be monitored and controlled from your phone. Right from your phone, you can see exactly what it's doing. And you can turn off different functions, as I mentioned before. Let's turn on the 12-volt DC circuits and see if I can get those running just by pushing a little button on the phone. And there is the DC circuits working. That was a little emergency light that I have for the car. I can also turn on the AC, and the AC takes just a few seconds to actually kick into gear. And when it does, this light and that light will come on. And there they are. You see there? That works with the AC, and it gives me a readout right on the phone how much power it's using while that's on. Right now it's saying with this back light on and this front light, it's using a total of 24 watts of power. And it will tell you how long it'll run off of the current battery charge, which happens to be, right now, it happens to be 99%. It'll run that in 1 day and 4 hours at the 24 watt output that it's giving right now. And it also tells you the temperature of the unit. Right now it's running at 61 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's in a very safe temperature zone. You have to press the output button in order for it to access these circuits. So I'm going to go ahead and shut off the AC side of it there. It also has a function on the phone for turning on the USB port. So it comes with 4 USB-A ports. It puts out 18 watts apiece. And it has 2 USB-C ports, and those put out 100 watts. It also has, and this is really unusual, it has an Anderson output here. So you can hook this up through the Anderson cable to either another power station or maybe their external battery unit. Here's the USB side coming on using the phone. And I have a light down here that I use. It's a little USB light that plugs into the USB-A outlet. So by using the phone app, you can use your phone basically as a remote control to control all of these power settings on the unit itself. Additional information that you have through the phone app is, this is, I think, really nice. It has all the specs on here, and you can look at all of the different specifications related to the Mega 2 unit just from your phone. Now, of course, all of these are listed in your owner's manual, but if you have your phone with you, you don't need to take your owner's manual. On the phone itself, right up in the upper right-hand corner, there's a little gear, you'll notice. And that gear, if you press that, it gets you into a window where you can see all of the settings for your phone. So you have the ability to rename your unit. And I've named mine the Larry Mega 2 unit. All you have to do is type in whatever name you want to give it. And if you hit the button Determine, that saves it to your phone. You can do unit timeouts. Let me just show you the unit timeout here real briefly. I have mine set right now to 12 hours. That means if the unit isn't being used at all, there's no draw from any of the power outlets, this unit will shut off in 12 hours. But I can change that all the way down to 30 minutes. So you can go from 30 minutes all the way up to 24 hours or even never, so that it never times out. So once you scroll through these, you just hit the Determined button, and then that tells you exactly how long it's going to take for it to time out. There's also a screen timeout function on it, and I really like this feature because a lot of times the screen doesn't stay on long enough for me to be able to read all the information off of it, like when I'm solar charging it. So I want that screen to stay on just a little bit longer. You can run the screen timeout in increments anywhere from 30 seconds to 30 minutes or never. You can have it so it never times out. I have mine set so it times out in 30 minutes. This phone app really gives a lot of versatility to the Mega 2 unit, and it will tell you how much you're charging the unit. So if you have it outside and you're solar charging it, it will tell you how much you're getting charged, and that might help you to set your panels up a little bit better so you're getting the most out of your solar charging. If you're inside and you want to take a look at your unit outside, you can tell whether it's completed charging or not, whether it's ready for you to go out and pick it up and bring it in or not. And the other nice thing about this phone app, if it's really bright outside, sometimes it's hard to read the display built into the unit, and it's easier to read it off the phone where maybe you can shade it or cover it a little bit. In order to install the phone app on your phone, in the owner's manual, there's about 8 pages that are devoted to getting the phone app installed and working on your phone. There's a QR code symbol in your manual that you can use with your phone to access the site. There's also a QR code on the left side right under that handle. You can access that directly with your phone as well. I'd like to talk a little bit about the battery. The battery of a power station has a lot to do with how good a power station really is. And this comes with, I think, the very best type of battery that they could possibly put in to a power station, and that's the lithium iron phosphate battery. The lithium iron phosphate battery is one that's proved to be very stable and very reliable in power stations. They've also used this for electric cars as well because of the recharge and discharge abilities of it. You can discharge this unit as many as 3,500 times. And at the 3,500th time, it doesn't mean you throw the unit out. It means that it's going to charge from that point on to about 80% of where it used to. So it loses just a little bit after 3,500 charges, but the unit is still good. Now, 3,500 charges translates to about 10 years of really good service with this unit. I think that's a great deal. And it has a 3-year warranty on the power station. The battery capacity on the Mega 2 is 2,048 watt hours. That's how long it will run continuously under a load, 2,048 watt hours. That's kind of in theory. The actual load is going to be a little bit less than that because this has to take some of the battery in order to run the AC inverter or to run the displays or the electronics that it uses in order to do all the processing of the electricity that it's working with. Essentially, the battery built into this unit will run about 85% of the total load that's put on it. So if you take 2,048, multiply it by 0.85, you come up with 1,740 watt hours. And that's going to be a little bit more realistic in terms of how much this will run your appliances. You can take an appliance, let's say you're charging your computer and it charges at 60 watts. You can just divide 60 into 1740 and you'll come up with 29 hours. So this can charge a laptop computer for as much as 29 hours at a load of 60 watts. You can figure anything that you have that you're running off of it using just a little bit of math. Also, if you're looking at the display on the unit itself, over here on the left side of the display, it tells you in hours how long that it will run a load that happens to be on it. Right now, it's saying that it will run these two lights for 29 hours. If you're using just the DC side of the Mega 2, it will run anything on DC just a little bit more efficiently because you're not using that power inverter to run anything off of DC. If you're running devices off of DC, like you're charging a video camera or a drone or something like that, you want to make sure that you shut the AC off so that it's not running that inverter at the same time when you're not really using it. Well, how does the Mega 2 really power your devices? This, I think, is wonderful. It comes with 15 different outlets in order to provide power for the things that you have in your home. On AC, it comes with 4 outlets to provide power at a load of 20 amps. In other words, you can put 20 amps on each one of those circuits. You have to make sure you don't go over a total load of 2,500 watts, which is the rating of the output of the Mega 2. The Mega 2, as I mentioned before, also comes with a 30 amp RV AC outlet, so you have 5 AC outlets all together. It also has USB-A outputs. Those are each 18 watts apiece, and 2 USB-C outlets, which are each 100 watts, and a 30 amp Anderson output, which could be plugged into another power station or a battery that you need to charge with the Mega 2. On the 12-volt DC side, you have a regular 12-volt adapter like you have in your car. That would be like what used to be used for a cigarette lighter in your car. That will power anything that's going to run at 12 volts up to 10 amps, which is anything that's designed to run in your car, like a small vacuum cleaner or an air compressor, that will run off of this outlet. It also has 2 5521 12-volt outlets built into the 12-volt side. You can run the Mega 2 with multiple battery packs, and this gives it more storage capability for power. You can run as much as 4 extra external batteries hooked up to the Mega 2, giving it a total output of 10,240 watt hours. That's an amazing amount of power. Just one of those B2 batteries from Opus doubles the amount of power, giving you a second battery that's also rated at 2,048 watt hours. The extra battery port is located on the left side. There's a door you open up in order to plug it in. For charging the Mega 2, there are 4 different ways you can charge it. Of course, on the AC line, you have that heavy-duty cord that I mentioned that came with the unit. That can charge it up to 1600 watts. And as I mentioned, you can slow that down to 800 watts if you don't want it running quite that much power. It takes about twice as long to charge it, and you're looking at a little bit over 3 hours to charge it using it at the 800 watt level. That's what I have mine set at because I'm not in a big hurry to charge these units up. The way you switch it from 1600 to 800 is you use the IoT button on the top and the DC button. You push and hold those at the same time, and then it will allow you to switch from the high power to the low power and then back again. For other methods of charging this unit other than AC, everything else works through the Anderson input that's over on the right side of the unit, and that's also behind a door on the right side. Car charging, as I mentioned, is accomplished using the car charging cord, and it will charge it at a rate of about 75 watts from the car charging port. So that's going to take a little bit longer to charge. Once again, about 22 hours total. But if you don't run this all the way down, and let's say you use it a little bit in the car and you want to just top it off, that's a great way to do it while you're driving from one place to another. You can top it off using that car charge cord, and that will work just fine. I wouldn't personally recommend running this unit all the way down all the time. I would run it down to about 50% of the power or maybe 60% and then charge it back up. That way it's never going to take very long to charge it, and it's actually a little bit easier on the battery if you do it that way. Another way to charge it, of course, is you can use a gas generator in order to charge this. Or you can use another power station to plug into it using that Anderson cable. So that gives you a lot of options for charging it. My favorite way for charging up a power station, of course, is using the solar panels because obviously solar power is free. Another nice feature that a lot of power stations are starting to come out with now is EPS power supply. What does that mean exactly? EPS is an emergency backup power system that a power station can give you for an appliance that you want to keep running should the power drop out unexpectedly. And one thing that I would use this for would be our sump pump. Let's say we're out of town. You plug the power station into your AC outlet using that AC cord that comes with it. You plug the sump pump into the power station and turn on the AC outlet on it so it's running from AC. It won't be taking that power from the battery of the unit. It'll be taking the power from your line. If your line is cut off, it takes only 20 milliseconds for it to switch over to the battery. So certainly with a sump pump, it would be very safe to have that hooked up. You lose power, you're gone for the night. This thing kicks on and saves your basement from getting wet because it is now running the sump pump off of your power station. According to the manual, they only recommend that you use one appliance at a time for the UPS function. And you don't want to use anything that takes more than 2,500 watts of power, or this will shut down. Well, what will the Mega 2 power? As I mentioned, it will power anything under 2,500 watts on the AC side. So that could be your refrigerator, even your furnace if you have a way of plugging and unplugging it. If you have a gas furnace where you just need to run the fan motor on it a little bit, this would power that for a while. It wouldn't power it any more than maybe an evening and a half though. We use this to run our family room. We'll have several lights hooked up to it and the TV and maybe even the stereo receiver, and I can run that for a total of 2 days running off of that for the entire day. So that is really decent power. Once, of course, it's run down, we just take it outside and charge it up with solar. Using the USB outlets on there, you can power anything that can be recharged, anything you need to take camping with you, like flashlights, rechargeable lanterns, maybe a rechargeable radio. Certainly for emergency uses, you can use this to recharge your emergency radio and keep it going when you have a power outage. I've used this to run my coffee makers. I've run a small coffee maker. This one will even run our full-size coffee maker with no trouble at all. You can also run vacuum cleaners using this unit. So if you have to use let's say a power vac to do some cleanup, you can certainly run that off of the power station. Once again, as long as your total output is less than 2,500 watts, you can run it. And it tells you on the display how much power it's using, so you can stay within that. If you accidentally go over 2,500 watts, you haven't ruined the unit. It just shuts down and you have to unplug everything and restart it, and it will be fine. Just don't plug in as much after you've overloaded it. If you're interested in checking out the Opus Mega 2, use our affiliate link. You'll find it all the way at the top of the description. The Opus Mega 2 has recently been released to the public. The regular price for this item is $1,359, but on December the 24th, Opus is going to offer this unit for the lowest price for this year. They're offering it at a price of $1,169. But when you add our code under the median to that price, that will bring it down to $1,110. That is an unbelievably low price for this unit. And remember, it's only going to be for one day on December the 24th. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about another Opus Mega product, I have a review video linked right over there for the Mega 3. Enjoy, and we'll see you on the next Under the Median product review.